Want to talk today about New Orleans Saints right tackle Ryan Ramczyk, who is now the highest paid right tackle in NFL history after signing a historic contract or contract extension with the New Orleans Saints this week. We know that the contract was a 5-year, $96 million deal, but we didn't know the structure of it until this morning. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the details by Field Yates. He tweeted these out at Field Yates on Twitter early on this morning. Ryan Ramczyk's new contract with the Saints, a signing bonus of $19 million, salary by year, and you'll take a look at this number here for 2021, $1.7 million. So that means that the New Orleans Saints dropped his salary cap hit from over $11 million to dropping his base salary to $1.7 million, and then that $19 million signing bonus over the first 5 years of the deal includes this 2021 season. So $3.6 million on top of that. So he's just barely over $5 million, meaning that they were able to drop his 2021 salary cap number by just over $5.5 million. We'll circle back to that here in just a moment, but you'll see an escalating number for his salary cap hits or his base salary hits over the course of the 2021 through 2026 seasons. Not at all under the ordinary. If you've been a Saints fan for probably more than 6 months, you understand this structure. $1.7 million in 2021, and it goes up to 10.5, 14, 17, 18, and 19 through 2026. The thing to keep in mind here is that there's also a roster bonus of $8.5 million in 2022, which means that his 2022 salary cap hit is actually going to be pretty high. It's $19 million in the combination of base salary and the roster bonus, and then you add the $3.6 million signing bonus on top of that. So his cap hit for 2022 ends up being about $22.6 million here or there. So that ends up being a really, really big hit. And that's a year where the Saints, not even with 50 players on their roster, are already $25 million over the salary cap ceiling. But of course, the New Orleans Saints have a plan for this, and they'll cross that bridge when they get there. What does it do for them in the long term? Well, you keep Ryan Ramczyk in the building. He also has some incentives connected to getting first or second team All-Pro at the left tackle position, which would raise his salary each year up to $1 million, hence the $96 million on top of all of this. So that's the total contract value going into 2021, as well as a look at how the structure breaks out over the course of those 6 seasons as well. So now you might look at the 2025, 2026 years and get a little bit concerned because it's $18, $19 million, those 2 seasons. Well, the good news is that by then you already have gotten out from under all of the guaranteed money, $60 million. So the only dead money that exists in 2025 is $3.6 million, which is the salary cap prorate, or excuse me, the signing bonus prorate for that season. So should things for some reason go sideways and the team need to part ways, or they decide to extend or restructure, they're in a comfortable position, which I think the latter, of course, is more likely. They're in a really comfortable position to do so as early as 2024 or 2025. They could restructure, though, as soon as next year if they wanted to. But there's a good model here for what a potential extension could look like for who I believe will be a perennial All-Pro at the tackle position. Now, the fact that there's still a delineation in pay between left tackle and right tackle is a little bit ridiculous to me, if I'm being completely honest with you, because good pass rushers, the best pass rushers, rush from both sides anyway. And you look at some of the names that Ryan Ramczyk has gone up against his entire career and has shut down his entire career. There's no reason that Ryan Ramczyk should be paid any less than, say, a Trent Williams or anything like that. But for the Saints' sake, this is actually good news, and this worked out well because by the time that we get to 2023, 2024, we should be seeing the salary cap rise exponentially at that point, meaning that everything that you're looking ahead to here after that $14 million year in 2023 should be absolute pennies, a bit of a bargain by the time that we get to a swollen salary cap at that point. Now, the last thing that I want to make sure I draw your attention to here is the $5.55 million that New Orleans Saints freed up in the 2021 salary cap with this move and with this extension. The Saints had about that much already kind of from the Marshawn Lattimore restructure and then signing the rookie class. They were sitting at around $5.6 million. They now free up about that same amount, which puts them at just over $11 million to go ahead and continue to fill some spots on this roster. They still have 5 roster spots available, only 85 of 90 spots currently accounted for, according to the New Orleans Saints official website, and only contracts that are given that are above veteran minimum will actually count against the salary cap, which means they can go ahead and fill a couple of those roster spots with some players that will come in below the top 51, but they could also go out there and spend at some positions of need, like the cornerback position. I mean, everybody around the New Orleans Saints organization has been pretty steadfast at a veteran corner. If the right opportunity were to present itself, could be an option for them. It would be something that they were interested in.